Most people who try Python scraping for the very first time get blocked within about 10 minutes, and they have no clue why. Today I'll show you exactly why that happens and the clean setup that keeps it from happening to you, even if you've never written a single line of code. Don't worry, this is way simpler than people make it look. Here's what you'll walk away with: what scraping actually is, how data gets pulled off a page, and how to keep your connection looking clean so a site doesn't slam the door on you halfway through a job. And at the end, I'll show you how to grab 40% off GoLogin plus 2 GB of free proxies, so you can start with a lot less hassle. So let's start at zero. Web scraping is using a small program instead of your own hands to copy information off web pages and drop it into a file you can actually use. Think of it like a robot that opens a page, reads it, and writes down only the parts you care about. The page it reads is written in HTML, the code language every website is built in. Scraping reads that and grabs what you want: prices, listings, headlines, whatever. Quick honesty moment. Stick to data that's publicly visible. Stuff anyone can see without logging in. Glance at a site's robots.txt and terms of service before you start. Don't scrape personal info and don't hammer a server with requests. Be a polite guest. That's the whole ethics baseline, and it's also what keeps you out of trouble. Step 1. Decide what you actually want. 3 questions. What data points? How much of it? And how often? Your answers decide everything else. Step 2. Pick your approach. There are basically 3 families of tools. 1. A simple request and read setup. Fast and free, perfect for plain pages. 2. A browser driving tool that opens a real browser. Works when a page loads its content with JavaScript, meaning it shows up empty at first and fills in a second later. 3. An anti-detect browser. The sweet spot when a site is touchy about bots. Here's the thing nobody tells beginners. The tool isn't usually what gets you blocked. Your connection is. Step 3. Proxies. A proxy is borrowing someone else's internet connection so the site sees their address instead of yours. 3 flavors. Residential IPs look like a normal home connection. Mobile IPs look like a phone on data. Data center IPs are cheap but obvious. Sites spot them instantly. For anything picky, residential or mobile is the move. Quick real example. An SEO specialist tracking competitor rankings ran everything from one cheap data center address. After a couple hundred requests, the results turned into ghost pages, pages that load but come back suspiciously empty or identical every time. That's a soft block. The site didn't error out, it just quietly started feeding junk. A clean residential IP and slower pacing would have kept the data real. Step 4. The browser fingerprint. An anti-detect browser hides your browser's fingerprint, a bundle of tiny details like your screen, fonts, and graphics chip that make you uniquely recognizable even without your IP. It fakes a clean, ordinary-looking ID card, lets you run separate profiles, and plugs a proxy straight into each one. Clean address plus clean fingerprint means far fewer doors slamming. I use GoLogin for 3 reasons. You paste a proxy in one field and it just works. It auto-matches your time zone to the proxy location, so you don't create a dead giveaway mismatch, and there's a free trial so you can follow along today without spending anything. Here's how to set it up. Open GoLogin, click Add Profile, give it a name like Scrape Test, and leave the fingerprint settings exactly as they are. Don't touch them. The defaults are tuned to look natural. Find the Proxy Manager tab, click Add, paste your proxy line, and save. GoLogin reads the proxy and matches time zone and language automatically. Hit Launch. A fresh browser window opens. That's your clean environment. Before you scrape anything, this part is non-negotiable. Open a tab in that window and go to ify.com. It's a free checker showing what the world sees when your browser shows up. You want green across the board, your IP class, fingerprint consistency, no web RTC leaks, and time zone matching the proxy location. All green means the same signals and anti-bot system checks are clean. If something's off, proxy won't connect. Double check your login details. Web RTC leak or fingerprint mismatch. Delete the profile and make a fresh one. It regenerates clean. Captures. Ease off, drop your request rate, switch to residential. 429 responses, meaning too many requests, reduce speed and add random pauses. Once IFI is green, test on a tiny sample first. Pull 5 or 10 items, not 5,000. Confirm the data looks right. Then add randomized delays between requests so your pacing looks human instead of a machine gun rhythm. Pass out the fields you want and save them to a CSV or JSON file. Both are just plain text formats for tidy data, one like a spreadsheet, one like labeled boxes. The full code for that lives in the article I'll point you to at the end, so don't scramble to write any of this down. What matters right now is understanding why each step exists. Quick myth busting. Free proxies are usually pre-flagged. You'll get blocked faster than with no proxy at all. An anti-detect browser alone doesn't make you invisible. Robot behavior still gets caught. How you act matters as much as how you look. And public data isn't automatically fair game everywhere. Check terms before you scale. One quick branch. If you're scraping a heavy JavaScript site, the simple request and read setup won't see the data. Use the browser driving approach inside your clean profile so the page fully loads first, then read it. Reality. A clean ID card with robot-like behavior still gets caught. How you act matters as much as how you look. And a big one, people think scraping any public data is automatically 100% legal everywhere. Reality. It depends on the site's terms, the data type, and your location. Public and visible isn't a free pass, so check before you scale. And one honest trade-off. Residential proxies are slower and pricier than data center ones. That's the cost of looking real. A clean setup minimizes blocks. It never guarantees zero. Anyone telling you otherwise is selling something. Here's your pocket cheat sheet to leave with. If a page comes back empty but loads in a real browser, it's JavaScript. Use the browser driving approach. If you see 4 2 9s, cut your speed and add random delays before anything else. If results turn into ghost pages, suspect a soft block, change your IP class, and slow down. So, quick recap. Decide what you want, pick your approach, get a clean IP, set up a disguise profile, verify green on IFI, test small, pace yourself, and save your data. That's the whole loop, and you can absolutely run it yourself now. And as I promised, in the description and the pinned comment, you'll find a link to a full write-up on everything we covered, with my promo code sitting right next to it. Use the guide as a checklist while you set this up, and drop the promo code in at checkout when you grab GoLogin. That's how you get 40% off the plan and 2 gigabytes of free proxies on top. Go build something. See you in the next one. And hey, if this helped, hit subscribe. We're on the road to 20,000 and every sub counts. I've got videos on everything from browser privacy to Windows tracking on the end screen. Don't sleep on it.